First there was Cocaine Bear. Then there was Meth Gator. Now we got Crackcoon. What's next? Crackula? So, yeah. Kaylee's over there at work right now having to listen to this ridiculous review. So, yeah, Crackcoon. This is currently streaming on Screambox, and let's talk about whether or not it ends up being entertaining at least. I will say that I was just having a discussion where I was comparing like 80s trash, like purposeful trash, versus like modern trash. And I think that the big difference here, and the reason why a lot of these purposely bad movies aren't anywhere near as entertaining as the old stuff, is because the entry level nowadays is pretty much like non-existent, right? Everyone has a iPhone freaking 15, 16 in their pocket, which is a better camera than, most filmmakers had in the 80s. And you can download editing equipment. You don't have to have any understanding of film at all. Everything is it's very simplified, and it's very readily available and pretty cheap. And so anyone can make a film for no money nowadays. And once upon a time, it was very complicated to get a hold of equipment and to afford film stock and to edit, and all of that stuff was very complicated. And nowadays it really isn't. And so we're just seeing the market flooded with even more trash, but it's trash that isn't even entertaining. It really is soulless. And unfortunately, this kind of falls under that banner for me, where I just don't like these movies anymore. And I know that maybe, I don't know, I feel like I could be the target demographic here, because I am into silly concepts. I am into over-the-top humor. I am into this kind of stuff. So, but I don't find any entertainment in these movies that I try once in a while to check out. And it's something with a ridiculous title, like Graveyard Shark or Crackcoon or whatever, like that I've watched in the last few years since I've had the channel. I do try to throw on one of these every once in a while that I think might, get some entertainment value out of, and I usually end up regretting it. And with this one, I really wanted to like it. It's as far as a plot line goes. I mean, guys throw drugs out their window as they're getting pulled over by the cops. A raccoon gets inside of it, consumes it, and turns into Crackcoon and starts killing people. It's very simple, and I don't expect there to be any plot, and I don't expect there to be anything deep or like, something I could analyze. Or obviously, that's never what I would go into these with the intentions of having. But movies like this, they feel so rushed. They feel like no one really planned anything out. They purposely just kind of like went into it half-cocked, fly by the seat of your pants, film it as you go, let the characters kind of ad-lib their moments. And while you can have success with that, it's rare. It's rare. And a movie like this, it needs a little bit more thought put into the humor and the gags, right? Like we have the rabid raccoon attacking people, and of course there's no budget, so the kills are not memorable. Obviously we're dealing with extremely amateurish actors and whatnot, probably just friends of the cast and crew, which is fine. But I just feel like there's no thought put into anything, as to where, like, usually you can get entertainment out of someone trying really hard and failing, or someone trying really hard and succeeding, right? Like, just not really caring and just throwing it out there and kind of having that, that cop out of, well, you just took it too seriously. That's why it didn't, that's why it didn't entertain you. That's why you didn't find it funny, because you're taking it too seriously. I definitely did not take this movie too seriously. I did not sit down to try to view it like it's some Fellini film or something. That, not in any way, shape, or form. I very much sat down like I do with any one of these movies. I turn my brain off and I just try to enjoy whatever is being put on the screen. And every once in a while, I find movies like this, and they are super entertaining. They have had thought put into them, and I have a good time. But when the kills in this movie are non-existent, right? You just have the same thing. The raccoon flies across the screen as someone, like, off screen, like, throws it at somebody, and it just lands on them and they scream out, and blood kind of squirts out. And you just do that like 7 to 10 different times. It's like, okay, like, are we going to come up with any other gags? Are we going to come up with any other thing? There is one moment in a bed with a girl. It's something we've seen 100 times at this point. Something sexual with our character, that's like our titular character, like in Thanksgiving. You just got stuffed. You know what I'm getting at. But I don't know. I find so little entertainment in these. I do try to give them a chances once in a while. Some titles just, I'm like, oh, okay, hopefully I'll have fun with this. And with this one, I just didn't, and that's the whole point of watching a movie like this, right? Is to just turn off your brain and laugh at how silly the movie is. And I never did. I will give a shout out though to Jessa Flux, who was in a movie from last year called Murder Size, and she had like maybe my favorite scene of last year, where she was demanding that people look at her tits. I found that scene to be super funny, and to see her here was bringing up my memories of that scene. That's also it just, every time I think about it, I laugh, because I think it's such a ridiculous scene. And I would have loved to have seen. I actually found Murder Size way more entertaining than this movie, and I didn't even like that one that much. I don't have a lot to good to say about the film, unfortunately. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. There's a good amount of nudity in it, which of course I enjoy, but it's going to need more than that for me to give this any kind of review that's positive. So, Crackcoon did not work for me. The characters were extremely insufferable, unlikable, and never really made me laugh. So maybe I'm just dead inside. Maybe I'm just not getting it because I'm the old guy now. But that's where I'm at with this one. Crackcoon, you let me down, and I will not be visiting Crackcoon 2. So anyway, all right, adios.